We've had some political guerrillas over the years as well. Did Moses use some unconventional tactics? I mean, I think bringing 7 plagues on your enemy is pretty Socrates, obviously Jesus. I mean, who has done more to change American society or human society in history? And he did it by changing up the game on the folks that were not his, that wanted to sustain the status quo. Thomas Paine, of course, one of our folks that we got to look to a lot is Samuel Adams. He was the master in his day of giving the British fits before the war, just in the propaganda world, and getting agitating the colonists. You know, Samuel Adams was famous for his quote, "It's not take a majority to prevail, but a tireless minority anxious to set brush fires in the minds of men." You know, might have gotten that a little bit wrong, but that's the idea. It's just a continuous, relentless, tenacious effort to remind people that what they're getting from their ruling class is not what they should be getting or what they should accept. Of course, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and someone who is somewhat of a nemesis of ours, Saul Alinsky. But with everyone, I don't care if they're left, right, center, whatever, you should do everything you can to learn from your enemies. And Saul Alinsky, although he was a leftist, he was a genius. And I would commend to you the book Rules for Radicals, if you haven't already read it, and Rebel for Radicals. If you haven't read that, they're 2 books that are very similar, but they have different anecdotes and different stories. But you read through that, and you get a very different perspective on things. Like when Anna was talking earlier about the idea, well, we're all in this together. You know, you read Alinsky, and you get that out of your head real quick. You know, because he points out that just about everybody, especially everybody that's been in the political system for any period of time, has some agenda. And if you want to get them on board for what your agenda is, you better figure out what their agenda is. You know, for some of them, it's some issue that maybe isn't at the forefront of what they're talking about, but it's what really motivates them. It might be self-interest. Maybe they're just looking to make a buck. Whatever it is, if you need their help, you better figure out what their agenda is, and then figure out how what you're trying to do fits into what they're trying to do. Again, Alinsky's got a lot of stories, interesting, sometimes funny stories about dirty tricks that he tried and played and brought off successfully. But it's not all about that. It's also about figuring out how to build a coalition, political coalition, figuring out how to get people to show up for meetings, little basic things like that. All that stuff you can learn a lot about from Alinsky. So I would recommend both of those to you. Next slide.